Hello, Brabs. We're back with more Bürgermeister. The Bürgermeister's daughter. The end of the affair. This is after the many letters of what's his name? Daniel Troutwain to Anna. Apparently the affair comes to an end. Erasmus' discovery of Anna's relationship with Daniel slowly turned him against her, as he believed that relationship had earlier turned her against him. But Daniel's intrusion into her life indicates that her passion for Erasmus, who was so often far away, had cooled before Daniel arrived on the scene. While Erasmus's professed love for her may always have been opportunistic, still, even after both recognized that their relationship had run its course, neither wanted to end it completely. Anna especially had good reason not to break it off. Increasingly estranged from her father because of Daniel, she could still find a powerful ally in Erasmus, whose advice and financial assistance she continued to seek. Erasmus, however, now had less reason to be loyal to Anna. If the affair with Daniel did not break his heart, it did take its toll. What he liked to call the old love, whatever that may have been, was now clearly gone. Although he continued to protest his good faith and to offer her his good offices, he had in fact washed his hands of her, and she was slowly and painfully to discover. 2 letters by Erasmus dated 1524 indicate that they had stopped writing to each other for a long period of time, probably the peak period of Anna's romance with Daniel. Judging by Erasmus's warnings against rash actions on her part, she seems to be on the verge of taking preemptive legal action against her father before he strikes at her, something Daniel's letters also indicate. At the very least, Anna was now informing herself about her legal rights as a dependent daughter. In the 16th century, a woman in her late 20s, unmarried and dependent on a widowed father who thought her a tramp, was in an extremely vulnerable position. Oh, the birds are going wild. The specter of physical violence, abandonment, and disinheritance could not have been far from Anna's mind. Erasmus now professed an earnest desire to meet and plan her best course of action. He was, however, prevented from doing so at this time because of illness. Letter 24, Erasmus to Anna, 1524. Dear Anna, I am very disappointed that you have not written to me for so long. Apparently you write now because you see things differently. But what you are preparing to do now, God knows, does not please me. And I still hope you will reconsider so that no harm comes to you. Dear Anna, I know that you want me to come to you, but so that you may see that it is you who should rather come to me in Berklingen. I am letting you know that I am still in a very bad way with a bad leg, and Almighty God is my witness, neither able nor daring to ride. 2 days ago I sent all my servants to Ansbach to answer for me, and await instructions from my gracious Lord, since I cannot yet ride. I fully expect my servant to return in a week, at which time I will endure the pain and meet you secretly in Berklingen, where few people will know we are together. So if God wills that I can ride, I will come to you then and discuss all the pressing matters with you. So, dear Anna, let me know by return mail if you can be in Berklingen in a week, and I will meet you there, for I have many things to tell you, many 100,000 good nights. I gave the messenger a quarter golden, so you needn't pay him anything. God willing, I hope you will still find mercy. If only God will give me my health, I hope your situation shall become better. Written in 1524. Letter 25, Erasmus to Anna. Dear Anna, inasmuch as you want me to depart immediately for Berklingen to meet you, I must tell you on my word of honor that I dare not ride or travel at this time, and tomorrow I will be completely confined. I beg you not to be annoyed with me, for I would like to come to you, but by God and all his saints I cannot. I will send my servant to you, and he will tell you all about it. May God make me better, dear Anna. Think the best of me. And if at all possible, do not depart Berklingen before I can come there, for I still have a great many things to tell you, many 100,000 good nights. Pardon? Erasmus's next letter indicates that a diseased leg may have been the least of his maladies, for he now reveals that he is also stricken with syphilis. Whoa, for Europeans, syphilis was then a frightening new epidemic disease. Although not quite as baffling, wanting in prophylaxis, or lacking in treatment as infection by Yersinia pestis, the bacterium of the bubonic plague, which lived in the digestive tracts of fleas. One knew that the infecting agent of syphilis lurked in the vaginal secretion of prostitutes, and that one should avoid the baths and other places where prostitution occurred. By the 1530s, the disease might be treated with the mercurial ointment, the invention of the Swiss alchemist and physician Paracelsus, 1493 to 1541, and the standard treatment until the 19th century. Still, its prevalence and fast pace in the first half of the century made it a topic of conversation between parents and child, especially children departing home to study, work, or wander abroad. Among the advice Leo Ravensburg, an Augsburg patrician and associate of the famous Welser banking and mercantile firm, gave his 14-year-old son when the boy departed Augsburg in 1539 to begin an apprenticeship in Lyon, I think it is Lyon, not Lyon, was a warning to stay away from dishonest women, so that you do not get the pox and other maladies that flow from them. Erasmus, however, was now beyond warnings and prophylaxis. I can't say it, prophylaxis, because I want to say prophylactics. Maybe that is it. Prophylaxis. The bad leg from which he suffered may have been a result of the syphilis. He writes to Anna from Wurzburg, where he is about to begin the wood cure, a prolonged drinking of large amounts of tea brewed from a species of myrtle, popularly known as poxwood. For Erasmus, it was to be the last in a series of remedies he had tried without success. He is also financially strapped and unable to lend Anna the modest sum of money she then urgently sought from him. Letter 2632. Erasmus to Anna, summer 1524. Dear Anna, I have read your letter, and among other things you asked me to lend you 20 gulden. I swear on my soul's salvation that I do not have it. In addition, I must take the wood cure in Wurzburg promptly on Wednesday or Thursday at the latest. I've been trying many cures, but have been unable to get well. So I will try once more to regain my health by this cure. After my last trip, I didn't know where I should get money, because my brother doesn't have any. He had to use what he had to pay the interest that came due on St. Peter's Day, June 29th. Also, I borrowed 100 gulden from him last summer, which I now, on my faith and credit, must repay him in a week. But I don't have a heller on me, and God is my witness, I don't know where I will get the money I need. My confinement in Wurzburg is going to cost at the very least 30 gulden, wherever that will come from. So, dear Anna, please don't be angry with me, because I am not helping you. Believe me, I don't have the money. If I did, I would give it to you unasked. But if God helps me get well, I will use all my cunning to see if there's a way to make your life better. But God is my witness, I cannot ride now. It has been 11 weeks since I was last on a horse, and since then I have been in no shape to do anything. But as soon as God restores my health, I will deal honestly with you. Although I know you don't believe me. Many thousand good nights. Please don't let yourself be angry with me. Write to me now and then, Erasmus. The next time Anna writes, it was again in search of money and advice, and Erasmus again excused himself because of illness and insolvency. However, he made it clear that even if he were solvent, as he soon expected to be, he would not be the generous patron she required. Letter 2733, Erasmus to Anna. Dear Anna, you write me to come to you, but God knows it cannot be done, for I am disabled, and there is reason to fear that I won't be able to ride anywhere for 3 or 4 weeks, and as soon as I am well, I must go to the royal court in Ansbach, so be in touch with me again in 3 or 4 weeks. And I will then come to you so that your situation may improve. I will give you further notice first. Dear Anna, since you asked me to send you 3 gulden, I must tell you on my soul's salvation that I don't have them. But as soon as God helps me reach Ansbach, I will have my own money, and then I will remember the trust you have placed in me and not abandon you. So, dear Anna, don't worry so much. There is a God who wills you good fortune and salvation. Dear Anna, I also have much that I want to complain to you about, so send a messenger to me in 3 or 4 weeks at my expense. For as soon as God helps me reach Ansbach, I hope to assist you with 2 gulden. However, on my last trip, my father gave me nothing, inasmuch as I was so close to home, and the time before that also nothing, many 100,000 good nights. Anna might well have read this letter as a hollow promise, for Erasmus had now denied her thrice. In addition, the conflict with her father was fast peaking, and she needed to chart a new life for herself. Outside the Buchler house, without Gelée, like mint julep, Gelée, delay. Erasmus still remained her most immediate influential friend, and certainly few knew more about her troubles than he. He was also in a position to arrange a temporary safe haven for her outside of all, in the custody of someone powerful enough to shelter and protect her from her father. That person was to be the Margravine of Hohenlohe, whose niece Elizabeth had earlier sought Anna's opinion of Erasmus's marriage prospects. The county of Hohenlohe occupied much of the land to the north of Hull, and the royal family had castles in the northwestern towns of Orange and Neuenstein, within each easy traveling distance of Hull. Anna and Erasmus, whose great-grandmother Elizabeth was a Hohenlohe, probably met there in happier times, like the Shanks of Limburg. The house of Hohenlohe was an old enemy of Hull, with major feuds going back to the 14th century, and certainly not ill disposed toward helping Anna and Erasmus. Not that Anna's father had read their correspondence. Now that Anna's father had read their correspondence and knew of their affair, Anna was of the opinion that Erasmus, like it or not, had become part of her destiny and was obligated to assist her. As Erasmus had made it clear that he neither could nor would come to her at this time, she now proposed in the most agreeable manner to meet him on his terms. Her closing words may, however, reveal her true feelings about doing so, whereas in previous letters she had wished him many 100,000 good nights, she now speaks only of many good days. Letter 28. Anna to Erasmus. Noble, gracious sir, here is my humble request. I am astonished to think that I have done something to cause your grace not to want to come to me, but it is up to God whether I shall now lose my life, honor, and property on your grace's account. Gracious sir, it is my sincere request that your grace come to me whenever you wish, but if your grace doesn't want to come here, then I ask that you let me know how I can get to the Margravines, should the devil, my father, and his relatives catch up with me. Dear sir, I have pleaded with you, and although you have told me that you will help me when your situation improves, I can understand why you should want to do so then, if you aren't doing so now. Dear sir, let me know this moment how I should get to the Margravines, for, dear sir, I have a great need to know that. Many good days. 2 final letters from Erasmus address Anna's new fears and conclude the correspondence. Never before had he been more reassuring nor ominously more theological than he is now. Amid his vague promises, he also delivers at last his promised solution to her troubles. Letter 29:36. Erasmus to Anna. Dearest Anna, as I have written to you before, just relax and be patient. If God wills it, things will change. I wanted to write you a long letter, but I have not been able to do so. The only advice I can give you now is that you trust Almighty God to work everything out according to all wishes. That is why I will try to think of ways to help things turn out for the best. So be of good cheer and think only this: after sadness comes every joy, and things do not turn out as God wills. May God give you 100,000 good nights. Written in haste. Letter 30:37. Erasmus to Anna. Dearest Anna, I have read your letter, and God knows it doesn't please me much that things now go so badly for you. I know that you place your hope in me and want my advice, and I do hope your intentions are good and honest when you do so. On the other hand, you also complain, as far as I can understand you, that I do not really want to help and advise you. Would to God that I knew some good advice to give you, for I would do so with a glad heart. Dear Anna, although it now goes badly for you, don't worry. Whatever I come up with to help you out of this situation, I will share with you. On my word of honor, you needn't worry that I will deal with you dishonestly, as I also hope you will not deal with me. So just take hope and ask your family if you might come back home. Dearest Anna, I will not abandon you, even if, as you have said, the devil should care less if I did. And I don't make this claim falsely. Many 100,000 good nights. Take hope, don't lose heart. I mean well, and I hope you do too. Written in haste. Erasmus's advice to trust God and beg her father to take her back was no realistic solution to Anna's problem. She and her father had long ago reached the point of no return. Neither of them could now abate their anger at the other. Anna desperately needed a home elsewhere, for while her behavior may not have exceeded the mercy of God, it was certainly beyond the ability of her father, and most Haller to let bygones be bygones. But then, neither was Anna prepared to forgive and forget the treatment she had received at her father's hand, and by admission from the city council of Hall. In advising her to crawl back to her father, Erasmus simply abandoned her to her own devices. As for Erasmus's own personal life, he married the Countess Anna of Lodron, died 1556, daughter of a wealthy South Tyrol family, and widow of Field General George von Frundsberg, commander of mercenary armies. The two are memorialized with their children in a stone picture epitaph in the chapel of the Shanks in the monastery of Comberg. They kneel facing each other under the crucified Christ, Erasmus on the back of a lion, symbol of power and authority, Anna on that of a dog, symbol of loyalty and fidelity. Their son Friedrich is with his father, their daughters Maria and Katharina with their mother. 4 coats of arms, 2 at the base of the sculpture and 2 framing the cross of Christ, proclaim their paternal and maternal origins. The legend beneath reads, on February 25th, 1553, the noble Lord Erasmus, Lord of Limburg, freeborn and hereditary Shank of the Holy Roman Empire, died. May God be kind to him. What of Daniel Troutwain, a man of seemingly less fickle heart, who had been a help and consolation to Anna in other times of need? No longer was he foursquare at her side, as he had promised always to be. His activities can be traced at least until 1527, and there is some evidence that Anna went in search of him in late 1525. By the end of that year, however, or certainly the next, he, like Erasmus, had quietly disappeared from her life. Perhaps her father had succeeded in convincing him that Anna was not worth the grief he intended to put them both through, should the two of them continue to see each other. Perhaps the dual affair and the scandal it threatened had become too much for him, as it had for her father. More likely, Daniel acted on his repeated threat to abandon her if she persisted in seeing Erasmus, which she clearly had done. The pilgrimages to St. Erasmus had so upset this otherwise seemingly caring lover that he threatened a beating if they continued. Circumstances also strained the relationship almost as much as Daniel's fear of her father and jealousy of Erasmus. Throughout their courtship, Daniel's military service forced him also to become another rendezvous man. Not a steady presence in Anna's life. The relationship, for this reason, may simply have run a natural course for them both by 1525. Certainly, after Daniel became the bailiff of Boxburg, he had a full life of his own apart from Anna. Whether that new life ended shortly after it began, perhaps on a military mission, perhaps as a suspected traitor at the hand of the Swabian League, or Daniel lived long and ruled well in Boxburg, is presently unknown. The end of chapter 2. And the end of today's reading. We will be back tomorrow, brobs. Goodbye.